The Hellcat Pro just continues to get better and better as time goes on. Now, I thought that we'd reached kind of the peak of what's possible with this gun, and then Floyd's Custom Shop proved me wrong when they went ahead and released their magwell and extended base plates for the Hellcat Pro. These new parts from Floyd's have really transformed what the gun is altogether. Now, a lot of you guys, you already know Floyd's, and for those of you that don't, you're about to get a crash course in straight up excellence. First off, the Floyd's Custom Shop Hellcat Pro is a ported version of what I consider to be the best concealed carry gun on the market, hands down. Floyd's, of course, has two options for porting. They have the Commander, and then they have the Enforcer porting. This one here, this is the Commander version. It has side ports as well as top ports. I do have another Hellcat Pro. It's out in the safe, and that one has the Enforcer porting, which is just these side ports. The magwell and mag bases are the thing that really elevates this gun to a whole new level, and here's why. Grip. Okay guys, I know you want to talk about the magwell and the mag extensions by Floyd's Custom Shop for this Hellcat Pro, and we're going to get to that, but first I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Apex. Now, if any of you are looking for a trigger that is going to be reliable, it's going to be dependable and safe, a trigger by a company that's been in the business of triggers for over 20 years, you really should look no further than Apex. Apex is the only trigger that I trust on my personal concealed carry handguns. And to make Apex that much better, they're giving my viewers a discount. When you use code 360TS at checkout, you're going to save a little bit of money. Not only that, but you're going to gain a hell of a trigger for your Hellcat Pro, for your Hellcat, for any of your M&Ps. They've got a bunch of stuff. Just go check them out. Next, I want to give a big shout out to Core Essentials. Look, I wear a Core belt every day. Today, I am wearing the black multicam. Yeah, black multicam. I thought I wore the black one, but it's just the black multicam. Black multicam EDC belt. If you own a gun, you need to own a gun belt. And if you own a gun belt, it should be the best gun belt on the market, and that's going to be from Core Essentials. Make sure you use 360TS at checkout, and you can be confident in the fact that you've got the best gun belt you can possibly have. Next on my list is Optics Planet. You guys thought I was going to get out of here without mentioning Optics Planet. Fat chance there. Optics Planet has the widest selection and best pricing of all things 2A related, not just optics. Not only that, but you can get a better price. You guessed it, 360TS on your way out at checkout. Okay, that's enough of that for today. Let's get down to business. Let's get some shooting done. One of the main complaints when it comes to smaller guns that are primarily made for concealed carry is the grip. More specifically, the lack thereof. The M&P Shield, Glock has like the Glock 48 or whatever. Then you got like the SIG P365. There is a very long list of guns available on the market where in order to aid in concealment, they give them a very short grip. Those grips don't give you any place to rest your pinky. They're basically a 3-finger grip. Then they go ahead and they give you a magazine that has an extension on it to give your pinky a place to go. And generally speaking, you're still in that 10-round capacity. Short barrel, so they have a ton of recoil. Short grip, so there's really no place to hold on to. Pinky extension, so when you do have to swap mags out, you have to break your grip in order to remove a mag and put a new one in. Let's be real for a moment though. That short grip isn't really doing anything for your concealment. To be honest, that short barrel isn't either. The thickness of the gun does more for your concealment than the grip length or barrel length does, but that's a video for a whole different day, I guess. Now, the Hellcat Pro gives you pretty much a full grip with a 15-round capacity. I know they sell the 17-round mags now, but it did come originally stock with 15s. But the 15s have a flush fit, and you know what? The gun conceals really well. Personally, I'm sure you can tell by now, but I hate short-gripped guns. I think they're ridiculous, and I think that it's time that people open their eyes and realize that they're not really gaining anything with those firearms. Now, some people don't like magwells, and they don't like the magwells because they feel like a magwell is going to kind of ruin their ability to conceal their handgun. As far as the magwell on this Hellcat Pro goes, it's not making any difference whatsoever in terms of concealment. While it is adding just a little bit of length to the grip, and of course it is giving you a little bit thicker grip, I wear this thing all day long in an appendix holster. I'm a little bit fat right now, and I should be printing like crazy, but I'm not, because the Hellcat Pro is a great concealment gun, and the magwell doesn't change a thing in terms of concealment. The big difference that I'm seeing in this gun with the magwell is in the grip. The magwell is giving me more leverage over the gun, which equals all around better recoil management. I'm getting faster follow-up shots. Not only am I getting faster follow-up shots, but I'm getting tighter grouping. Not to mention the actual intended purpose of a magwell, which is to aid in reloads. The design of Floyd's magwell has this little lip here for the pinky, and I find when I squeeze with my ring finger and my pinky, I am able to really get the gun under control a lot more than I could under its stock configuration. For those of you in the back in the cheap seats who are getting ready to make comments, I'm not saying that it was uncontrollable to begin with. I'm just saying that using a magwell of this style gives you the ability to get more control over the gun than you could previously. As much as I've enjoyed the feel of the Hellcat Pro from the very first time that I held it, the very first time that I took it shooting, having a magwell attached to it just makes it feel like an entirely different gun than what it does straight from the factory. It doesn't matter how well you grip a gun, it doesn't matter what caliber that it is, it doesn't matter how much of a tough guy you are. Any better grip that you can get on a firearm, any mitigation of whatever recoil it has, is a positive, especially when it's a gun that you could potentially use someday to save your life. So in my mind, the addition of the magwell is a huge win for the Hellcat Pro community.
I didn't even bring targets with me today. Didn't even think about it. I threw everything else in the car, no targets. So now I gotta shoot all the leftover shit that's out here. There's a propane tank out there. There's probably no propane in it. There's definitely no propane in there.
One thing to keep in mind when it comes to adding a magwell to your gun is that most of the time you're going to have to upgrade the base plates on your mags. Mostly this has to do with the design of the base plates from the manufacturer. They're usually oversized in the front to meet the front side of the grip, and so with the design of a magwell, you're either going to have to get in there with a Dremel and take a whole lot of material off the front side, or just pony up and buy some new base plates for your mags. Now, I hear this complaint from people pretty often where they're not real happy about spending an additional $75 or whatever to put a magwell on a gun and then having to turn around and buy base plates for all of their magazines to be able to use the magwell on their gun. If that's you, you know what? Magwells probably aren't for you, and that's fine. There's a lot of benefits to a magwell. Mag bases aren't that expensive. Yes, it's an excess cost, but the cost to benefit ratio is definitely within proportion. On the other hand, Floyd's has +2, +5, and they also have other mag bases that don't add capacity. All of these mag bases are going to give you the added compatibility to be able to use those mags with the magwell. Otherwise, of course, bust out the Dremel and, try to remove enough material from the bases that came on your mags to fit inside of the magwell. That's up to you. I don't recommend it. My personal recommendation, just put on a +2 and a +5. The reason that I recommend using the +2 as your carry magazine is the +2, first off, you're getting 17 rounds, and second, it doesn't come out past the bottom of the magwell much, if any. And I honestly don't see any difference in my concealment with or without the magazine. Now, you could use one of the mags that doesn't add capacity, but that's not going to be any different than what the +2 is realistically as far as concealment goes. So just use the +2 and carry with 17 rounds. Then for your backup, go ahead and use one of these guys here. This is the +5 on a 15 round mag. That gives me 20 rounds in my gun. That's going to be my backup right there. Obviously, that's going to be a little bit of a problem to conceal with. It sure looks pretty cool, but yeah, I'm not going to conceal with that very well. So I go ahead and I carry the 17 here, and then I have the 20 as my backup, and I'm good to go. All of my spare mags for the range, I have them all set up like this as 20 round mags. So my now 20 round and 17 round magazines, they run just as good as they did in their stock configuration. And you know what? Who wouldn't want that? They feed reliably so far. There's been no issues where, rounds are getting hung up or, not feeding into the chamber like they're supposed to. The only issue that I'm finding is that I feel like I might be going through more ammo when I take this out to the range. And that's because now I've got 20 rounds in a mag instead of 15. And who knows, maybe that's a good thing. The magwell is sitting nice and secure. I'm not having any issues with it moving, up and down, no left and right type movement. I don't think I'm going to have any problems with that whatsoever. I don't think when the Hellcat Pro was designed that they anticipated some of the upgrades that we've kind of put on it here in the US and specifically here in this office. They really meant for it to be a really basic, slim profile, optic ready, conceal carry handgun. To their credit, they really did do a hell of a job. If the design team over at HS Product in Croatia wants to go ahead and reach out, we can maybe do a little conference call. I can give you guys some ideas on a future generation of Hellcat Pro. You guys did a hell of a job on this one, but I think I got some ideas for the next one that could be even better. What Floyds Custom Shop has done with the Hellcat Pro over the course of the last year or so is really something special. I think that what I have here is quite possibly the perfect EDC, the perfect conceal carry handgun. Nearly perfect. And I say nearly perfect because there's always room for improvement. At the same time, when Floyd's Custom Shop is on the job, you know you're going to have a product that is going to last a very long time and it is going to perform the way that you expect it to perform. If you have a Hellcat Pro or a Hellcat or a Smith & Wesson M&P or any number of other firearms, you really should go take a look at some of the things that Floyd's Custom Shop offers. This is not the last that you're going to see of the Hellcat Pro on this channel. We have a lot more Hellcat Pro content on the way. Thanks for watching today, guys. You know what? I am going to be back real soon with that port comparison for you. Probably here in the next couple weeks. So make sure you keep an eye on the channel. I'll see you back here real soon.